Hello and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to the newest session of the Zodiac campaign. As you can see from the name, we are now in Zodiac Endgame. We are heading towards the end of all of this. The party is very high level. I believe 17 probably. I don't know, I don't keep track. Yeah, I do. But yes, this is going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump right into the action, we have a few short announcements that we have to make. The first of which is our Patreon. If you want to join our fantastic community and play in any of our future games, with open slots included, please reach out to me about our Patreon. We have open slots available for everybody, and if you just want to support what we do here fiscally, you can participate in some of the community events that we're doing, like a Gnomathon that's coming up in the near future. 12 hours, the entire party's playing as gnomes, and I'm trying to run the game. So yeah, if you are interested in hanging out and playing some of that, just join our Patreon. The link's down in the description below, or you can always type !Patreon if you're watching live. Another fun little thing that's happening, something that I'm not able to share with everybody yet, is I am seeing the pages turn for the comic series, the first chapter of Luna. It is going much more slowly than we thought, but it is showing progress. I'm getting posted by Patch as often as Patch finishes what they are working on, so I'll be sure to share that with you as soon as I have some perfectly refined edits. People on our Patreon have early access to stuff like that and other cool little things that we are doing as well. If you want to support us by other means, we do have a media. We have multiples, actually. We have Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and now TikTok. If you want to get some DM tips, if you want to get some funny little spoofs, if you just want the highlights of what's happening in a lot of our games, go ahead, follow us on TikTok. It'll be a lot of fun, and, well, follow us on all of those platforms. I really enjoy it. I like having my ego stroked. It is one of my fondest activities out there on the interwebs. And last but not least, we also have sub goal. For some reason, our sub goal tracker is fucked right now. I think I need to reinstall Streamlabs or something like that, but we're going to be starting on a new thing. Every 50 subs, I am going to be doing a marbles game. If anybody knows what marbles is, you're going to be assigned a number of marbles equal to the number of subs that you give to the community and subs that you just give. And you get to attach a little one-word sentence to each of them. If your marble wins the race against all of the other marbles, that marble will be what we are doing for our community event. I'm setting it to every 50 subs unless that proves to be something that people do way too often, and then I'm going to raise it up a little bit because I still have a community to run and organize. However, currently we have... Let me get my paper out for all of this. We have Cade with 6 subs. We have Commies with 2 subs. We have Wyatt with 1 sub, and we have Adam with 1 sub. And I am keeping track of everybody else in between as they are subbing as well, and I'm just adding them to the list in total. So we're technically at what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yeah, we're at 10 out of 50, so that's a lot of fun. Also, everybody in the community, tomorrow afternoon I'm going to be posting the pictures of our puppets for the puppet show that for some reason y'all wanted me to fucking do. So if you want to write the story behind what these puppets are doing, we have 3 of them, and you'll be able to tell us exactly what the story is, and I will have to narrate it within the limitations of my skills and vocal range. So if you want to fuck with me, go right ahead. But tomorrow afternoon's when I'm posting it, and as the story unfolds, I'm going to be copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. That's what we're doing. So make sure you're online and available for all of that. I believe that is the... Yeah, I think that's the last of all of my announcements. We agreed that I'm going to be doing the recap. Where last we left off, we were going down through some additional downtime. Reese and Gabby were exploring around, trying to campaign to get Gabby more notorious and to gain more power and fellowship, as Gabby is fully trying to endorse herself as the newly elected god of the world. Yeah. Vote Gabby 2020. So yes, that is how we are heading in that direction with that. Reese had an extrastellar interaction with their goddess, and was given a bit of information as to what is transpiring, something that Reagan was experiencing firsthand. These creatures, these otherworldly beings that are chosen by the god above all else to be the rectification for everything that is happening, are heading towards Zodiac, as that god deems that this plane is no longer worth inhabiting or saving. If your party fails in your actions in trying to bring peace to this war-struck land, then Zodiac will be eradicated by these four forces of nature. They are not people, though they do have personifications that you can look upon. They are forces of nature. They act as they need to erase what they can. Reese and Gabby took that opportunity to go back over to the Morian estate, hang out with Lucian and Imperial, and when they told Imperial what was going on, Imperial said, fuck that shit, I'm out, and got teleported out to Reagan, where Imperial found out, no, this is actually happening right here as you're talking about it. So now Fur gets to go onto a battlefield and do what Fur does best, make people dance until all of them die.
I'd like to clarify,
yeah.
I pieced out of the fucking library.
Sure. Iblis, however, has been hunting down her previous charge in connection to the Nine Hells, to no avail. And during one of the excursions that you were heading out into the open area, just picking off different individuals one by one, you were approached by an old yet familiar individual by the name of Lucifon. Somebody that you all have not interacted with in quite some time, and most of the party has never interacted with. I believe Imperial, Iblis, and Lucian are the only ones that have ever interacted with him. Yeah. He knows about your connection to everything, and wished to assist you. However, only if you can help him get to your previous charge. Fierna is outside of Hells against the rules of the Hells, and Lucifon's been charged with bringing her back, one way or another. So, you agreed to assist him, so long as he assists you in getting Nobu's fractured souls and bringing them back to where they all need to be. You've traveled around the area, and you've spent a great deal of time moving to different planes where time moves differently, less fluidly than it does in the material realm that you are growing much more familiar with. I won't say fond of. And after several interactions, and Lucifon being the sugar daddy to this endeavor, more or less, you figure out that there's only one last place that you have to go to hopefully find out where the last fragment of Nobu's soul is, and the two of you are currently trying to track down Lucian and Reese. You teleport back to, or Lucian, you teleport back to the Morian estate, and you have a John Travolta moment where you just look around and go, where is everybody? Very confused. However, Lucian and Reese decided that they are going to be taking up a lot more of their remaining time trying to figure out what is transpiring, what these unknown entities are that are moving here, and anything else they can do to hopefully assist themselves in the survival with this plane and with everybody else. So, Lucian, Reese, the two of you are down in the library of Labria. A very deep and very extensive library that travels across the majority of the ocean floor within Labrian's territory. You've begun your research. Wait, why did people bog down the chat? What?
What?
There's a lot more posts in the chat than there were previously. It must have been since last session. Alright, I'm trying to find the questions that you all posted. Please remind me what you were researching in the library.
Well, did somebody put down questions? I thought we just...
I typed it out and I posted it in the chat, but now I can't find it. It wasn't questions, it was what you were researching in the library. I just can't find it now.
Well, the only thing mentioned was I wanted to research what they have on Tempest, and then also help find information on these horsemen and
Okay.
Ao, the god.
Alrighty. And Reese?
Well, the conversation that I had with my god was the fact that I need to look into the history of Zodiac to find out the answers that I need to help alleviate this problem. So I'm going through the history right now to see if there's any information that I can harvest that could be useful down the road. Acting upon what I've been told. Yeah, that's the main focus. Otherwise, I want to see if I can find any weaknesses about these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse that are coming in. One of them was already here, but yeah.
Okay. Yes, Ale, you guys are just doing okay, whatever. So Reese, since for the first half of this, Lucian is doing his own research, as he just declared, please roll me an investigation check.
Oh, God.
For the first half, what are you looking into, AO or the history?
Can I get Lucian? The reason why I brought Lucian over is to get him
He
to
already
help me
declared what he is doing.
advantage. I'll wait for him to be done with what he's doing because
So
my
you're
+2, I don't
wasting
want...
several hours. Okay, cool. Lucian,
Well, I'll
roll
just
your
get other
investigation.
information.
All right. My character sheet is not cooperating. All right. So I'm looking up things.
About Tempest. Yeah,
I'll re-roll that one.
good call.
$24.
You're keeping it?
Yeah, 24 is pretty good, I guess.
Okay. Over the course of 4 hours of research, you find nothing on Tempest.
It's problematic.
Nothing on the history, nothing on the name, the title, the creation, anything.
So it didn't help that I had their catalog number.
I mean, you have it, and that allows you
792.
to narrow down 16 miles of library down to about a quarter mile.
Okay.
But unfortunately, to no avail. Reese, did you not want to research something during those 4 hours?
Let's see. What can we research? Well, I was going to study religion and all that stuff, kind of do general about this plane of existence to understand the power dynamics between the different gods and all that stuff better.
Okay. Roll me a religion check on that one.
All right.
$19. So, you are given access to restriction level 0, which allows you to read anything that you can come across, though your only assistance is in somebody who's currently looking for something else.
Mm-hmm.
While you are looking through everything, the dynamic of the 13 gods of this plane of existence is of a very, very minor amount. These are the lowest in ranking gods that can exist and still be considered gods. They've been here for roughly 600 years in total, which is not that long at all for any plane that you've visited previously. And the eldest of all of these gods, sorry, I want to make sure I say it right. I don't fuck it up. The eldest of all of these gods is Cancir, the one that represents the crab.
How do you spell that?
It's literally Cancer with an extra E.
Okay.
I'm not that creative.
Okay.
But yes.
All right.
Cancer is the eldest of all of them, apparently the one who coaxed all of its siblings into this plane of existence, and thought that this would be a good training ground for all of them to prove themselves to the higher deities. Of course, all of the gods personified a different task. When a god comes into its power, it is given a domain in the plane that it has influence over. The person who distributes that, you would know Reese as Ao. Ao is the one who chooses everybody's domains. He is the gatekeeper of the gods. And therefore all of them decided to really take their domains to heart and really personify that as a concept. Cancer wanted their domain of peace and of forgiveness to be their predominant traits, and therefore stayed non-objective through many of the fights. However, the other gods that were given more aggressive domains took upon themselves a heavier duty towards that, and translated it as they need to have what they want. They need more power. They need to prove that they are above all of the rest of the siblings. Now, the interesting thing about this is gods gain power based off of the number of followers they have. But the nature of Zodiac, each of the gods has followers born into them based off of their territory. The point of the war has always been to remove the influence and territories of the other siblings so that the more powerful gods can grow outside of the realm of minor deities and move forward. That's why they're always in a constant state of battle and of war. The number of people on Zodiac is fairly stagnant. It doesn't expand, it doesn't grow that often. So the only way for them to gain more power and influence is to get more worshippers. And they chose to do this through aggression and through, in Leo's case, dictatorship.
So Leo is forcing people to worship him? Is that what's going on?
He's brainwashing them to believe that is the right choice.
So the clerics are pretty powerful and active in Zodiac then, because if they're going around spreading the religion through whatever means necessary to convert, that's a huge issue.
That's the interesting thing. None of them are converting people. They're fighting, killing, and expanding. Their clerics are very weak in Zodiac. There are very few of them. They choose to rule by forced loyalship and blind obedience in most situations. Now, there are certain deities that wish for people to worship them because what they do is help others. Akui, for instance, her domain is of healing and of life. Her worshippers worship her because she grants them the power to heal and recharge people. She is the only deity that has a large number of clerics. All of the rest of them have a lot of paladins and a lot of other people that follow and worship, but that are less influential.
So the fighting ones are enslaving people to follow them.
They are brainwashing people to believe that they are doing the right thing in following.
Okay. How do they do that? They just like preaching to them, or like at sword point, or like what is the process that they use to
They're
convert
born
people?
into it. They're born into the culture. They're born into the society.
Okay. So
everything
they
about
capture...
us, we are right. We are true. We are perfect.
Okay, they're brainwashing through propaganda. They capture new territories, new populations are born to it, and then they're brainwashed from the birth.
For generations, yes.
Okay. So we have a shit ton of crazy fanatics running around thinking that their god is the rightful god.
That is correct.
Everybody else should be pretty much cleaned off the face of the universe. That's like, I almost feel like the horsemen should actually get rid of this place. How do you freaking reverse that? So there's some gods that are actually not following that MO. They have a different approach. Two gods, and Aquarius is one of them. Who's the other one?
Akui and Cancer.
Akui and Cancer. Okay.
Yes.
Cancer is the eldest, but that doesn't necessarily mean is the most powerful.
No. Leo is the most powerful by far.
Okay, because it has the most territory and most people converted.
That is correct.
Okay.
The power of a deity is directly correlated to the number of followers and worshippers they have.
Akui and Cancer. Okay. and that they've been generationally brainwashed. Fuck.
Yep.
Well, we need to think this through.
So that was the first 4 hours.
Yep.
Lucian,
Yep.
your research has been to no avail and is incredibly frustrating, and you finally come back over towards the table that Reese is sitting at.
Okay.
Well, this is a really big library. I thought that I might have better luck, but let's get on the main task here and try to work together and find the.
I'm sorry to hear that your research didn't bear any fruits.
Maybe we can come back to it if we find what we're looking for. But
Of course.
other than that, it was, you know, I didn't have high hopes that they would have a lot of information, but I thought they might have some tidbits, and they're sprinkled somewhere in here.
I'm sure.
I don't have time to dig into this.
I'm sure if we save the plane, they will let us come back and finish what you started. Let's just put it that way for you.
Yeah, but
Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, I was gonna say, but you know, gaining this information might give us a decent advantage in our efforts.
Okay.
Anyway.
Are we limited on our research time? Can we go back to it after you're done helping with this part of it that I'm working on? We can go
Yeah,
back.
I think we can. You know, if
Yeah.
we both try it later on with fresh eyes, but right now let's focus on getting the information on these horsemen and
Yep. Well, basically, what I've been told by
possible weaknesses or interactions in the past. Maybe like, have they ever kind of shown up and tried to steer things, like, you know, just general stuff.
what I have been told by my sources is that if you look into the history of the Zodiac, you could find clues that could be useful. So I think what we need to do is do a deep dive into the 600-year history of the plane, which by my standards is not that long of a time. So we should be able to go through it with a fine comb and get to what we need to get to. Between the two of us, we should be able to pull it off. I will assist you because your ability to look for things is much more impressive than mine.
Alrighty.
And I will dig deep in the lore bag and pull out my magical spectacles that help me read shit really well.
You do it up, man. Whatever it takes. I don't judge.
What did those spectacles do again?
I think it was vague.
You read twice as fast.
I read twice as fast, and a lot of time it would give me like an advantage on a check. But if it's helping me, that helps anyway. It's just for flavor.
So what you're saying is you could have wore those while you were doing your previous check?
Yeah, if I had remembered that I had them.
Okay.
Well, you know the saying, better late than never.
So instead of Reese helping you, since you're going to have advantage anyways, thanks to the spectacles, Reese can make their own check just in case, you know, things happen.
That's true.
Sure, fuck it. Let's do it with my +2.
I mean,
Let's make it.
They already have advantage, so now it's just luck of the draw.
Yeah. All right. Still, we're both on the same task.
Nailed it.
All right.
Go ahead, Lucian.
Natural 20.
Ooh!
For a 31.
Good glasses, huh? Are you ready for
Dude,
that
these
level of
glasses are the
exhaustion?
best.
You're ready for that level of exhaustion from reading with these things?
I didn't get exhaustion.
No, you do get it after you read with them for longer than an hour.
I thought only Sin did that because he couldn't comprehend the knowledge of the spectacles.
No, it's if you use them for longer than an
It was-
hour, you're processing
material.
so much information that your brain almost lags out. But I mean, do you want to take the suffering to get things a lot better?
Well, yeah. I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Alrighty. So 4 hours of research. Reese, partway into you grabbing books and starting to flip through them, you see Lucian grabs a book and flicks through it incredibly fast and puts it down. Grabs a book, flicks through it incredibly fast and puts it down. So you start going, I'm going to hand you books. Make this a little faster.
Yeah,
Just-
there's no point of what I'm doing
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point in time.
So, with your help of I need those books over there. You just grab stacks of them at a time and handing them over. And Lucian being able to read through most of the novels within about 2.5 minutes. Those beings are not accounted for in this library. However, the story behind them as a potential threat has been noted throughout history during all of the previous eras. The era of the primordial was when the dragons came in order to not just gain ownership of Zodiac, but to also stop those beings from causing havoc and destroying a place that didn't have a chance to develop itself yet. Those beings, after the end of the conflict between them, left. And during the age of the dragons and the tyranny that had and came through them, there was a select era of peace where people knew their place as subservient to the dragons.
Oh, dragons left is basically what you're saying.
Primordials went to sleep, dragons came.
Okay.
The
And
four
dragons-
apocalyptic creatures, the horsemen, left.
Okay. So, okay, I'm trying to understand. You said the four primordials came, they set things up, and then under the dragon's rule,
I'm sorry I missed out on information because you weren't here back when I revealed it to everybody.
Mhm.
Zodiac used to be a lifeless ball. It had
Okay.
no purpose. It had no consciousness. It had no life on it. It was void of everything about it. It was an endless cycle of sand and whistling winds. Nothing else existed here. When primordials traveled through the astral seas and discovered this plane, they decided that they were going to make it their home. These are the eldest of all of the primordials known to existence, and they are the representatives of all of the four basic elements: fire, earth, water, air. And with those primordials coming here, they clashed and warred with each other, causing oceans to spread, causing land to sprout, causing fresh air to come into existence, and causing heat to warm the planet, to start inhabiting people to travel from the far realms to it. The age of the primordials defined Zodiac into existence. They were the Big Bang for this plane of existence. However, they knew nothing but rage and anger. They were untamed, they were uncivilized creatures. They did nothing but wreak havoc. The entire reason the mountain range exists that Leo barricades himself in was because the earth elemental needed bigger and larger rocks to throw down at all of the other ones. They did nothing but ravage the lands and make it very inhospitable for creatures from far realms that came here for peace, came here for refugee when their planets were being destroyed. The age
So
of
the four. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. So the four entities. Does it say they caused the primordials to go to sleep, or
That
and then they just sort of left because they finished their job?
no, the dragons caused them to go to sleep.
So we got to get to the dragons or their lore is what we need to do. And dragons are no longer around, right?
Most.
Yeah.
Most. Okay. Do we?
Right here.
Is there any specifics? Are there any specifics about what dragons did the work to bring about stability?
All right, Imperial. Tell me the history of dragons. You have 25 words.
Those names are
Go.
actually ripped out of the books.
They're ripped out of the books.
Yep.
Mother.
Yep.
Fuck.
The
Blame
history a bit
Imperial.
more, you'll understand
What kind of
why.
library is this?
Blame Imperial.
There's names ripped out
Okay.
of books, and there's dicks in the margin. This is ridiculous.
Oh, that's why they have a beef of Imperial, because he took information. He damaged the library. Oh God.
Well, not just, but anyways. But
Do
anyways.
you guys? Would Lucian remember the fact that why those pages would be missing? Did
Oh, he
Lucian
wasn't
know
there for
about-
any of this.
Okay, so this is
He
we
knows.
don't know it.
He knows why Imperial is banned, though. Yeah, life ban.
Imperial was banned prior to the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
what I was told as to why he was banned. I don't know if that's the truth.
True. But anyways, allow me to continue, please. The dragons ruled with absolution. They all agreed to move underneath one another and to have their own territories. They set up clear boundaries, and the most ancient of all of the dragons even developed a council, a meeting that they would have between themselves in order to deal with trades of the mortal lives that they used as their cattle and entertainment. The beings kept flooding into this plane of existence, finding refugee once again from even more realms. This is the first occasion where creatures from the elemental plane of fire came to Zodiac, as well as the elemental plane of water. Why sea elves are here, and why other more fire-based genasies are here. So, there was a defining event with the dragons where these individuals showed up, started asking questions. They seemed different than the mortals, as they could hold their heads high when looking upon the dragons, never knowing fear. And all of them were unique in nature. Now, these individuals that came here deceived the dragons, making them believe that they would worship them as the other mortals would, and that they would carry them and start protecting them, and making sure that they were safeguarded no matter what. However, one of these individuals betrayed all of them. They told the Zodiac gods where the summit was for all the dragons. And when the dragons had their guards lowered, thinking their sheer numbers and power would keep them safe, the first 3 Zodiac gods came here. There was a war. Kanseer begged his younger siblings not to fight the dragons, but understood that one of them did it because the dragons were tyrannical over the mortals. They were holding power and dominion over them that they didn't earn, that they didn't see as just and orderly. This sibling was Leo. Apparently, he used to have a side of righteousness once upon a time ago. His other sibling, however, one that Iblis just talked to a little bit ago, he did it because it was fun. Killing the dragons? Blast. Massacring them? He's never felt a thrill like that fight before in his life. And during all of this time, the Hells took the opportunity to send their agents here and start cleaning up all of the other dragons. Most of the ancients were killed at that point in time, leaving only their youngest siblings to move about the plane. There is a listing of somebody's name that you recognize, Lucian. Glacis. She is known as the Dragon Slayer. She has the highest kill count among all mortal people for the greatest quality of dragons. Apparently, she would lead troves of people into a battle against them, allowing as many of them to die as was necessary so that she could take their heads as a trophy. This is the first written account of Iblis's existence.
Okay, who the frick is Glacis again?
You'll find out if somebody reveals it to you. Reese does not know. Reese does not know.
Doesn't Lucian know?
Yeah, he does, and he knows what I'm talking about.
So I'll ask, who the frick is Glacis?
Well, it's complicated, but when Iblis was under the when she was like working for or the thrall of the devils, that was her name that I guess they gave her or so.
How old is Glacis / Iblis?
Apparently super old. I mean, I got
You guys are
the idea of this kind of thing, you know, when we were dealing with the vampires, how they, you know, went crazy when her blood was around because of the deliciousness or something, but I didn't think it was like this. This is pretty wild.
So hold on. You're telling me Glacis, which is Iblis's alter persona was a sociopath who took joy out of killing things for fun?
Well, I mean, potato, potato.
What do you mean? I don't really understand how that applies to this.
She was given a job. I mean, maybe she didn't necessarily take glee in it, but she did it the way that she was able to.
That's not what the book is saying from what I'm reading. The book is saying he took it to the next level.
She
Took it to the next level.
Yeah, she used inspired tactics and I don't know. I find it terribly interesting.
Ah, very well. I need to think about that for a moment or more than likely. But so, do we know for a fact Iblis is going to be not on the side of what I'm seeing is chaos over here? It's your friend. You guys have been companions for a long time, and I'm sure you trust Iblis then.
Yeah, and she has not just implicitly sacrificed everybody to kill dragons, but she definitely is good at fighting dragons. I've seen that.
Interesting.
I'm surprised there's no mention of her footwear in this book. I find that very odd.
Well, you're not researching the history of Iblis, are you? But anyways, the war lasted a few hundred years between the gods and the dragons. It was decided when an unknown creature of an unknown origin, as this book lists, showed up and chose the side of the gods and helped reanimate some of the dead bodies of the dragons to use in a battle, causing the remaining dragons to think that many of them betrayed one another. This individual is in fact Dravdar, yes.
Who the frick is Dravdar? Okay. One of the older PCs, I'm assuming then?
No. This is somebody that, well, again, you would have to talk to Lucian.
Hey, feel free, buddy. Who's Dravdar? Don't hold back now. We're knee deep in it. Getting to the neck deep level. Lucian?
I was muted.
Okay. You've been talking this entire time? That's
Not this entire time, but I was
okay.
saying he was the one who set up the Acropolis. Like, we ended up fighting Markov to get to him, and we were not able to get past Markov with the time we had.
So Dravdar is an enemy of your group.
He was sort of a. We ran into him because he was an ally of one of our enemies, and then he was sort of an indifferent, like, sort of not openly hostile but not openly friendly. And then over the course of a fight, he took the opportunity to steal the life gem from Gabby, and now he's on our shit list.
Okay.
But he's very old, and he's like undead, so it makes sense that he's using necromantic energies on these dragons as well. He's very crafty.
Interesting.
I feel like we need to deal with him at some point.
Interesting to say the least. Very well. Let's keep reading.
So, you continue reading. The battle lasted for a few hundred years. And that leads up to the age of the gods when they first came here. Well, when they first took over Zodiac. There is a large amount of appreciation for the gods as the tyranny of the dragons was pushed away. But that was only short-lived until the gods realized that their powers were dwindling. They only had so much because their previous worships that gave them the status of demigod was faltering. So the gods created their own council, thanks to Cancir. And Cancir organized so everybody would have a fair share of Zodiac, making sure everybody was safe. Everybody had their own power and influence, and they also wrote their own laws about the land. An individual born under a specific cycle of the moon and born under a time of the year would always be born to one of the 4 territories. Yes. Now, the gods accepted this very easily, but then they started trying to take advantage of this, creating holidays to celebrate themselves independently. And during times of celebration, people would get pregnant so that the child would be born during their moons and their cycles, trying to deceive and grow more power within themselves. So a new law was placed upon this land. The law was there could only be so many people born under an amount of territory. And the population on Zodiac has never faltered. It would drop down during mass waves of war and fight and battlement, but then it would always spike back up within a few additional years. It is the law of the land that was written into stone and written upon a set of magical augments. After that second law was written, however, Leo tried taking them all for himself, deciding that he's done playing fair with everybody else. He has proven that he is the strongest, he's the most noble, he's the most valiant, and he has the most worshippers. So he deserves to write a new law, one that would allow him to ascend up past the frame of a minor deity that he now has. The rest of the gods fought back against him. This was about 500 years ago. It was a devastating battle that ended poorly for them all. And the gods found individuals, mortals, who would take it upon themselves to be the Cancir Council, to be sure that the gods would not have the power of these powerful gems ever again. That is where you notice your family name, Galanadel, written in the book, Lucian, as well as Reagan's family's name, written in it as
Interesting.
Okay, so at one point they had laws, and then those laws kept stability, and then Leo decided to not follow the laws, and then it started going topsy-turvy.
The laws are still in place. They can't rewrite them without all of these augments.
But nobody's also, you got to get the augments to get the laws to work. Like, okay, there are laws that are in place, but Leo and none of them are following them, though, is what you're saying.
No, these are laws of nature.
Following them.
Lucian, do you wish to explain to Reese? I can narrate through, but explain to Reese what the law with the augments is.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
We'll explain it.
When you have all of these augments together, they have the powerful to grant a wish that is so powerful that can write a law of nature. Completely in detail and descript, write it, and the nature of Zodiac will abide by it. This supersedes the power of a god. So if you use these augments to say, the ocean will forever be yellow in color and fruitful tasting for anyone who drinks from it. If you had those augments, you could do that. But you could also use it for things, say, I will be the deity of this domain. and you will ascend.
Okay. But augments are missing. Is that the problem?
These powerful augments are hidden from the gods. They aren't missing. In fact,
Okay.
all of their locations are listed inside of this book, Lucian. Well,
boy.
where they were before they started getting picked up by people.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we can start tracking them potentially. So this is the part, like the biggest question for me then. Why is AO sending the force horsemen of the apocalypse? What is the trouble that this plane causing to her or the rest of the planes? It's always warfare. Is
It's not what it is causing to the rest of them, but what it is causing to the mortals that live here.
so Eos wants to do the right thing to end their suffering by totally killing them. They're just committing genocide, getting rid of all of them, exterminating them. Is that it?
Exterminating this plane of existence so that they can retry it. Yeah.
So he's just trying to reset it, but then it's going to repopulate it again? Is that what it is?
Maybe. You don't know AO's influence or meanings.
Okay. So AO wants to restart. Get rid of everything, and then whatever comes next, because it's been too much suffering for humanity. Interesting. So he's going to make him suffer more to keep him from suffering. Okay.
Well, is that the mortals and the gods? Like, you're gonna start over with new gods and see if they can have better dynamic?
It is Zodiac that is going to be destroyed. Which does not specify the gods or the mortals. It is Zodiac.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Motherfucker playing favorites.
I don't even know. I need to think about all this. But yeah, okay. That's some information. To end this suffering, they're going to destroy Zodiac. So they're going to take away their excuse. Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, from what I've seen, it's very dysfunctional. This whole gods fighting and stuff.
So my question to you, do you want Zodiac to be destroyed? I don't think so, right?
No. I mean, things need to be changed, but completely wiping it out, that's
yeah,
a
it doesn't sit
harsh.
well with me either. There's going to be a lot of innocent souls that are going to be liquidated because of this.
There's a lot of individuals who, are brainwashed into feeling like, their god is the best and whatnot. And then there are individuals similar to myself who are like, I do not want to be part of this just foolishness, and I'm gonna make my own way. Like, not everyone follows the god that they were born to. You have to have some free will.
My specialty is abuse of power. This is a clear case of abuse of power for centuries across the board. That's what I'm here to deal with. And the impression that I'm getting, augments is are what that decides the final word, pretty much. So I think one way to deal with this is to go after the augments themselves.
Well, we've been doing that, and we at most ever had 2, and now we're down to 1. And I was sort of motioned to my arm where I have Tempest located.
So you need one more to decide a law.
No, we need all of them, all 6.
Okay, all 6. So we have 2. We need 4 more. Is basically.
No, we have 1.
We need 5 more. Jesus.
Yeah.
How long, I wonder, it takes for AO's minions to destroy a plane? And the gods are going to fight them. I think what needs to happen is we need to create a coalition that agrees beforehand what the law that we're going to agree on is going to be to keep the plane from being destroyed. We need to find those who are aligned with our thinking that they don't want the plane to be destroyed, and they don't want it to be destroyed for the right reasons.
And other people, like when we first became aware, or I became aware of these augments, it seemed clear that people wanted to gather them so that they could make changes to the world. Specifically, my brother wanted to collect them all so that he could get rid of all the gods, and so that there were no gods on this plane. And that seemed a little short-sighted. Without them, who knows what chaos could be perpetrated. So I mostly felt like as long as I kept this one, they couldn't have them all, and so they could not enact whatever plan they're doing. But then it sort of escalated to, well, you can't just have one, you should probably keep others from them, and it's just gone from there.
There's many ways to go about doing this. I think the entire group needs to come together to brainstorm on what the next steps are going to be at this point.
Speaking of the group coming together, as the two of you are having this conversation, Lucian, roll me a d4. All right, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh,
It's not bad. That's 4 hours of using the goggles, man. That's not bad.
fucking brain hurts.
Which equates to 8 hours of studying, so... But anyways, as the two of you are standing there, you watch as a temporal rift opens, and you see Iblis step through, followed by a different tiefling that is far larger than all of you.
What in the 7 hells is this?
Funny you should say that.
Actually 9 hells, and wow, where are we? How did you find him?
How did you guys get? I didn't think you could just do that.
Oh no, he's good at doing stuff like that.
How is the library going to feel about this? We're guests here. I hope it won't upset them.
We're in a library.
You immediately see books around you everywhere.
Oh god, a library.
I will loudly and awkwardly say, I don't know, but these strangers might get in trouble.
Okay, just
What?
friends, let's not do anything harsh here, and let's just go through the proper channels before they revoke whatever welcome that they have for us. So
Which-
why don't we go introduce ourselves?
Lucifer, I don't think we have time for this.
Which one of you are Lucian?
You know who I am, man. We've met. And I like dig in my bag and I pull out his medallion. Be like, come on, man.
For some reason, I don't remember you.
That's harsh.
Your entire identity was to be unidentifiable, okay? You did a good job. Fun.
Yeah, but he could vaguely remember me as the wizard guy.
The noble person. Who was the last one he sold a fragment of his soul to?
Oh.
I think you're being interrogated right now.
We're friends. We all know each other, but
So are you trying to gather up his fractured existence?
something
Yes.
like that.
It's a full-time job trying to keep track of all the deals that guy made, and there was a large spans of time where he disappeared, and then he came back like with an eye patch, and I mean, who knows what's going on with that? Did you talk to Belial and Fierna and stuff?
He looks over at you, Iblis.
Yeah, we talked to him.
Okay.
We know those two. We know the creepy red guy.
Yeah. Ares. The first one was that devil that
She's dealt with.
forced. Okay. What about
And you do see agents of...
Akui?
He raises his eyebrow.
I think he might have made some deals because we used to hang out with a cool guy, Mika. He was tight with Akui, and she had given him considerable power, and so that sounds relatively likely that Nobu would cut a deal.
You all do see that many Labrian surgeons are moving towards Iblis and Lucifon currently.
Okay, I'm taking out my crossbow.
A Kui.
That's my best guess.
I'm gonna grab a book.
Whoa.
Okay, roll me a D100.
Okay. Slash RD100.
Natural 1.
25. Hey, that's not bad. I actually like
That's
that
not.
number.
Yeah, that's a good number. It's a good number. As all of the agents are moving closer, Lucifon grabs you by your arm, Iblis, and drags you towards the portal. Fine, we'll go see them. The agents begin trying to cast magic on the two of you. Iblis, give me a wisdom saving throw. You gain an additional +7.
Oh, I was gonna use my inspiration, but I mean, if I have an additional +7, it's an 18 minimum.
So don't roll a 1. All right, yeah.
Holy shit.
yeah. You feel the magics as they scream, "Halt!" on you. And Lucifon just growls over his shoulder, and you're like, "Oh, I don't think we're stopping." And the two of you just walk through the portal.
Look, I got.
You look at the spine of it. It is called the Hooked Serpent.
This looks like it'd be interesting. Didn't want to leave without a souvenir.
We can't teleport again until tomorrow.
That's fine.
We'll camp here.
Where's here?
You're back in the Morian estate.
Oh, I mean, you could just sleep in one of the beds.
He sits down square on the floor and just leans against the wall.
Or not. Okay. Do we need his body?
Not yet.
Should I bring it? Make this easier.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, if we're just camping here, I guess I'm gonna read my book.
All right. This is an incredibly boring book about the politics of early Zodiac during the era of the dragons. It is literally laws that they had, worships and sacrifices that they had, shit that you already know.
Awesome. Probably
You-
worth some money.
You knew all of this shit.
Well, I'm gonna go buy a new pair of Uggs then. Bugs. So just go to the store and sell the book and buy the. It would be summer now, right? No, because it's been 6 months, so it would be fall.
It's fall currently. Yep.
Fall edition. Let's
The
do
fall
it.
editions. The only time of year where it's almost appropriate to wear something that hideous.
Is it pumpkin spice?
It is pumpkin spice season, yes.
Oh my god, yes. Okay.
And in fact, that is the newest edition of the bugs. They are 20 gold currently, which is incredibly expensive for them. However, with each footstep, you emanate a small puff of the fragrance of pumpkin spice.
I need them. I need this. Okay. I'll trade the book.
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh no, I was thinking about using advantage on this. Public. Oh, that's not bad for her.
You have to give 2 more gold.
I got 1. I
Do you
got
not
1
have
gold.
silver or
I have
anything
3 silver. What if I sell like? I got a pen. I'm sure they want a pen.
Sure.
Okay. Goodbye to my pen. Delete that from inventory and get rid of all my money.
Sure.
Awesome. There we go. Downtime well spent.
Keep in mind, you now have disadvantage on stealth checks, or creatures with a strong sense of smell have advantage while tracking you.
Pumpkin spice bugs. I mean, they could try. This non-detection spell really helps for that.
They just smell pumpkin spice. I swear to God.
Good spice bugs. I'm gonna look under the soul.
Roll me a D100.
D100. Oh, on fire with these 25s.
Unfortunately, that is not the golden ticket.
God. That's one in. Oh my God, that's 1 in 10,000. Jesus. Whatever.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not the golden ticket.
This has no soul. Okay, and I'll just head back to Lucifon and
Yeah.
sit there with my new shoes, happy.
Some human came by and gave me this. He holds up a small letter.
Oh. What did he look like? Did he look like he had some trauma in his life?
She. And
Ooh.
yes.
But, okay, I'm a little confused now.
She was carrying a small child.
Oh, it's Nobu's sister. Okay, yeah, let's open it.
You open it up, and it is an invitation to all of you to the Morian estate, as a council is being called for the attack on Leo's mountain range.
Okay. Well, seeing as I don't have a sending spell, it's just us. Maybe the bridge burners, if they have a representative still here. I mean, I paid them for however long this battle is supposed to be. I think I overpaid them a lot, actually.
You did. You did. And that's why you only barely had 20 gold.
Oh well, sure.
So.
Oh well, they don't know who I was. They won't know.
It is in 7 days. The meeting.
Okay. Well, I guess we go to Akui tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here.
You sleep first.
Okay. Guess I'm going to sleep.
All right. And he's staying awake the whole time, just being aware. You do notice he sheathes the blue sword and pulls out a yellow hilted blade.
It's a weapon of warning.
Yes.
That's a lot. I mean, wouldn't you just see them coming? I feel like.
I'm not omnipotent.
Okay. I usually see things coming, is all I'm saying.
I know there are individuals that are ridiculously stealthy.
I haven't met many of them. Probably because they're all hiding.
I fucking hate you. But anyways, you go to sleep, and tomorrow you are going to track down Akui to hopefully find the last clue and the last fragment of Nobu's soul. Lucian and Reese, you've conducted your stay at the library. You've done all of the research you can physically do on this matter. And it's time for the both of you to leave.
Well, I'll use my rune cipher teleport or whatever it is to, if you know where the closest next location is going to be, for us to be able to meet with the rest of the group, I guess.
Given the increased importance of the augments, could we try one more shot at gaining insight into the
Do you have information to give her that'll allow you to stay there longer?
Let me What was the first information we gave them? I think I held something back for later use.
You mentioned the existence of the horsemen, I think, and AO?
Yeah, AO. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What can we do? Can I see my people are interplanar travelers and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I do have the background and I do have the ability to send messages to them.
Yes.
I
As
can
long as you
send
have
out
the
a-
paper and ink to do it.
No, I'm hoping I carry those with me, right? And
They cost gold, so if you didn't spend
Sure.
gold on it, then
I mean, I didn't know that I had to separately. Like, I do have the money. I have tens of thousands of gold. And I had thousands of gold before that. So
yeah.
So
all right, so it's 10 GP per.
okay. So I'm
Message.
going to send a message out to my network
Mhm.
saying I need obscure information to trade up with, and whoever provides it, I'll pay handsomely. Or whatever the protocol within the culture is, that I'll support their cost, something to that effect. I need to leverage it to save a plane. So, and this is what we do.
It's less of you having to coax them because the organization is meant to help one another.
Yeah.
It's more of, well, when the time comes and I need help, you're going to help us.
Yep, of course.
So you do that. Obscure information. Okay.
You see me basically take a piece of paper, Lucian, and I write something down on it, and I burn it, and then it just disappears.
And then about 15 minutes later, a different piece of paper appears in Reese's hand.
What does it say?
Tell them the Bahir have begun evolving.
I have no clue what the fuck that means, but sure, let's do it.
Alrighty. So,
Here you go, Lucian. Tell them this. Trade it up to get more access time. Or if you want, I can do it too. It's not a big deal. We'll go up to the
little fox
librarian.
person.
Yeah. We need to revisit one of our research topics, and we're willing to trade information to have permission to do as such.
The small fox hands hold up their hands for the information.
I'll give it to the fox. Yep.
They take the piece of paper, tilt their head, pull out a small clock, wind it for 1 hour, and place it on the table.
Okay.
This
Somebody's
is the
getting another
last
exhaustion.
bit. This is the last bit that you're going to be having.
Okay, somebody's gonna get an exhaustion. Go, 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 go.
Oh, he already has the exhaustion. Do you put the
Yeah, I
glasses
already
back
have
on?
the exhaustion.
So you can double it. There you go. More fun.
Well, I don't. You'll be helping me. I mean,
Yeah, you're gonna be resting. What is gonna happen next? We got time.
well, no. If you're helping me, then I don't.
Yeah,
need to,
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll help you. Of course, I'm gonna assist.
Okay, so that's a straight roll, Lucian.
Yeah.
Even like no.
Would I be able to gain any of like a bonus if I try to use locate object on a book about Tempest?
You would need to be familiar with the book.
familiar
And
with
when you
the
have
object.
one instance of disadvantage and one instance of advantage,
Okay,
no
so
matter
it
how
makes-
much
still-
you
okay,
have
yeah.
in either direction,
It
it's
netted
always
out.
straight. Yeah.
I was
Shit.
just speaking in general, like.
Yeah.
like,
That's the reason why we should have had
Plus
Gabriella
twos.
and everybody else in here too.
Well,
it's
That's the-
fine.
You know.
They're doing their things. Role play.
All right. So we got.
One straight
this.
investigation roll. And what are you looking into before you roll?
We're trying to find knowledge about Tempest, item 6792.
Very well. Please roll.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
That's luck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we came all this way.
I gotta re-roll
Motherfuck.
that.
You have one more luck.
Yeah, I know.
17,
oh, my fucking
16.
God.
Oh,
Come on.
Yes!
There we go. That's a halfway decent number. Just so you know, you start finding information at 25.
That's
for
kind of
these
what I
augments.
thought.
Yeah. They're incredibly rare bits of information.
Yeah.
Good sacrifice there, pal.
Yeah,
Good sacrifice.
So a dirty 30. Tempest is considered the father stone to all of the augments. It is rumored to have been the first one created, as its bending around time and its manipulation of that force was necessary in the creation of all of the other ones. Tempest is the most powerful of all of the augments to have ever existed independently. However, its power is limited to the user and their resolve in using it and sacrificing their own years of life in order to gain benefits from it.
Yeah.
This is all things that you've already known. However, Tempest is actually the name of this augment, and during its creation was created out of 3 elder beings, 2 of which were far travelers that were turned into augments, and 1 of which was rumored to be a fallen deity. When the 3 augments were placed into one object, they formed Tempest. Now, allow me to give you Tempest's true name. Finally.
Leonard.
Leonard. No, I'm not that fucking... Come on. Give me a little credit, guys. Little credit.
No, wasn't that
All right, you named him
Markov's
Bob.
true
I
name?
know.
Yeah.
It's just...
Janus is its true name.
It's actually pronounced Janus.
It's Janus. Johan. It's always Johan. It's always been Johan.
That's right.
So, and if you remember, that individual that you
guy,
spent
yeah.
many years with was Janus. Turns out that you've already spoken with Tempest directly.
Nice.
Speaking the name out loud allows you to communicate with it freely. However, Tempest's resolve is stronger than that of any person that you would ever meet. They believe in a very specific code of conduct, though they can be asked for favor directly, always at a price, though. To wield this power is excruciating on the body, no matter who it is. Which is also one of the reasons very few people throughout written history have ever wielded Tempest as a weapon. They've simply kept it and hidden it away. Most people are not willing to easily lose 12 years of their life just for a minor shift of a few seconds. However, you've already utilized Tempest twice for those purposes, so that is all the information you find out about it.
Nice. It's rather useful.
And I think at this point, this is a good place for us all to take a break. When we come back, I'm assuming that when Lucian and Reese get back, you're going to be talking with Iblis and Luciphon, and those two will convince the two of you to get everybody else back here for the meeting and the war.
So, Lucian, you got what you're looking for?
Oh, I know more than I did when I got here, so yeah.
Okay, is that going to
Pretty
help us track down more of these fuckers?
Not specifically, but it might give us insights.
So,
Okay.
Problem is, I already knew who had 2 or 3 of them, and then they got brain fucked by Dravdar. So
we'll be right back,
Dravdar's
everybody.
probably got a bunch